I'd like to welcome you back for Habit 2. This particular session we're going to discuss beginning with the end in mind. And this session is meant for folks that are trying to get refreshed both on campus and off campus with 7 habits. So Paul, thanks for being with me again this time.
It's a pleasure, Jim.
We'd like to explore a big meeting or event that might come up, and how would you collectively get focused to get ready for a meeting like that?
Okay, so I think of course we're talking about begin with the end in mind, and even for a group meeting, Jim, I always say that the end in mind always starts with me. As you know, I always say it's always my turn first. So I usually ask myself 2 questions just as I'm going into the meeting. The first one is, what should the group be focusing on to make progress, and what might that progress look like as it materializes in the future? The second question I ask, and it's just as important, maybe more, is who will the progress benefit? Now, as I try to understand those questions, what I try to do is ask the group the same 2 questions just as we're starting the meeting. And I'm also open to make sure that I may hear a different array of answers than the ones I thought about before I started. And that's useful because I consider that information for me to learn and to get ready to maybe contribute to an end in mind for this group session.
That's great. Rather than just going with the agenda, you can actually change midstream and react to what's happening in real time.
With an outcome that we're hoping to achieve as a group.
As a group. Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Paul, without getting too autobiographical, we've met transition persons in our lives, and you're one for me. How do you go about sensing who might be a good transition person in your life?
Okay, that's, again, a great question. I look for 2 key characteristics in a potential transition person. First is I try to make sure that the transition person would understand that the end does not justify the means. How we do things is just as important as what we accomplish. And it also builds trust. So I want to make sure that they realize that what they do is important, not just what they achieve. The second thing that I look for in a potential transition person is, do they understand that being successful is actually empowering others? We're not a success till we empower the success in others. If we get those 2 traits, we have a potential transition person.
That's a great thought, not just looking at our own benefit, but those for others and how we might empower the folks at our group. Very good. Thank you. Paul, I remember when I did my first mission statement, and I'm sure you remember your original one.
I do.
What events have taken place since then that might reshape that event? If you were going to rewrite it today, how would those events help shape the new version?
Well, it's funny you say that. Actually, I think every single event in our lives gives us a chance to really evaluate our mission statement to see if it's still relevant in our life today. What I mean by that is I consider experiences to be loaded with information that allows us to move forward in the mission. However, all of the events provide information, and our challenge is don't judge the information, just reflect on it, learn from it, and see how we can make changes towards our mission.
So not big significant events, but everyday events that happen. That brings
everything
information
is information to help us understand our mission.
Very good.
Absolutely.
That's great. Do you think people experience a shift in the second part of their lives related to this mission statement evolution?
Well, no.
No.
I don't think the personal mission actually changes much in a person's life, Jim. That may even conflict with the last question I just answered. What I think actually occurs over time is this, and let me frame it out. The personal mission involves knowing oneself, and certainly that evolves with greater understanding. However, over time, as we know ourselves, we actually do make a change on what we invest our time and energy on to achieve our mission. But I don't think our core values, which is what the mission is about, actually changes. Just what we do to achieve the mission.
So even more important, the early childhood framing of these values, and not a major change in the second half of life then.
Yeah, I think the mission doesn't change, but how we achieve the mission probably changes to be better suited to who we are and who we've always been.
That's great. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed the comments that we've taped today, and that this has helped you refresh in your perspective of getting ready for second habit and any reviews that you might be doing with your accountable partner. So thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay.